46 or 7 centuries ago, a king of Uruk, one Gilgamesh, left home on a vital mission. His growing city required timber for its temples and palaces. The journey became the basis of a story that is at the heart of the pioneering literary work known as the Epic of Gilgamesh. The most complete single version of the epic found to date, providing about 3/4 of the text as we know it, was also the very first version of the epic to be discovered. Dating from the 7th century BC, it was found among much other material at Nineveh in northern Iraq by a British museum expedition in 1853. The clay tablet on which it was inscribed lay untranslated and wholly unremarked in the alluvial depths of the museum until 1872. The tablet's discovery then caused a sensation throughout the Western world, for the story included an account of a great flood, very much like that in Genesis. The rest of the Gilgamesh epic has since been filled in from a variety of other versions discovered elsewhere. These include the oldest Sumerian Gilgamesh material, dating from perhaps 2100 BC and uncovered over the period 1889 to 1900, amid a trove of 30,000 clay tablets excavated by a University of Pennsylvania dig at the buried city of Nippur, once Sumer's religious capital. Scholars and translators also use a Gilgamesh fragment from Megiddo in Palestine, raising the exciting notion that biblical authors may have known directly of Gilgamesh and his gods and exploits. The narrative is also partly filled in by fragments bearing versions of the Gilgamesh epic in the Hittite and Hurrian languages from archaeological finds in what is now southern Turkey, dating from perhaps the 14th century BC. We are confident today, through a sort of historical triangulation, that Gilgamesh the king did indeed exist. He was likely a real flesh-and-blood historical figure, living at the exact, if we may use that word, dawn of historical time, 27 or 8 centuries before Christ. Copies exist of an ancient Sumerian text known as the King List. The oldest of these is from about 2100 BC, during what is known as the Third Dynasty of Ur. The kings with whom the list begins are fantastical characters who enjoyed reigns of hundreds or thousands of years in the darkness of prehistory. Then, according to the list, there is a catastrophic flood. The post-Diluvian kings on the list are real historical people. The list gives them reigns of realistic length, and their names begin to appear on the bricks, pottery, and tablets since found in the ruins of Sumerian cities. The flood clearly marks the boundary between the historical past and the antediluvian world of myth beyond. On the king list, the 5th of the post-flood rulers of the great city of Uruk was one Gilgamesh.